Hello, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be doing the Goldilocks and the Three Bears as soon as it decides to show up. Okay? I'm not doing any video because my internet connection is not that solid. It keeps going in and out. So hopefully the books will read right today. Okay, I'm going to start over again. So you probably couldn't hear me earlier. The volume was down. So we're going to be doing the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, okay?
Goldilocks and the Three Bears, a retelling of the story of the Three Bears by Robert Southey, written by Keisha Sem, illustrated by Vanessa Boldowski. Once upon a time, there were three bears. They lived in a house in the woods. Papa Bear was a great big bear. He had a great big chair. He had a great big bed. He had a great big bowl for his porridge. Mama Bear was a middle-sized bear. She had a middle-sized chair. She had a middle-sized bed. She had a middle-sized bowl for her porridge. Baby Bear was a little bear. He had a tiny little chair. He had a tiny little bed. Goldilocks and the Three Bears, a retelling of the story of the Three Bears by Robert Southey, written by Keisha Sem, illustrated by Vanessa Boldowski. Once upon a time, there were three bears. They lived in a house in the woods. Papa Bear was a great big bear. He had a great big chair. He had a great big bed. He had a great big bowl for his porridge. Mama Bear was a middle-sized bear. She had a middle-sized chair. She had a middle-sized bed. She had a middle-sized bowl for her porridge. Baby Bear was a tiny little bear. He had a tiny little chair. He had a tiny little bed. He had a tiny little bowl for his porridge. One morning before breakfast, the three bears took a walk in the woods. While they were away, a little girl knocked on their door. Her name was Goldilocks. She knocked and knocked. No one answered the door. No one invited her in, but she went inside anyway. Goldilocks saw the porridge on the table. She was very hungry. No one will mind if I eat some, she said. First, she sat in a great big chair. She took a spoonful of porridge from the great big bowl. This porridge is too hot, she said. Next, she sat in the middle-sized chair. She took a bite from the middle-sized bowl. This porridge is too cold, she said. Then she sat in the tiny little chair. She took a bite from the tiny little bowl. This is just right, she said. She ate all of the porridge. Goldilocks leaned back in a tiny chair. She let out a great big yawn. Then the tiny little chair broke. Ouch! She cried. Goldilocks was now very tired. No one will mind if I take a nap, she said. She lay down on a great big bed. This bed is too hard, she said. She lay down on the middle-sized bed. This bed is too soft, she said. She crawled into the tiny little bed. This bed is just right. Goldilocks fell fast asleep. While she slept, the three bears returned home. When they sat down to eat, the bears knew something was wrong. "Someone has been eating my porridge," said Papa Bear. "Someone has been eating my porridge too," said Mama Bear. "Someone has been eating my porridge, and they ate it all up," cried Baby Bear. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," said Papa Bear. "Someone has been sitting in my chair too," said Mama Bear. "Someone has been sitting in my chair, and they broke it all to pieces," cried Baby Bear. The bears then went to the bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," said Papa Bear. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed too," said Mama Bear. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," cried Baby Bear. "And there she is!" Goldilocks woke up. She saw the three bears standing over her. She jumped out of the tiny little bed and ran from the house. Goldilocks never again went into anybody's home or ate their food or slept in their beds without first being invited.
All right, so that was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I'm going to try to choose one more and see if that will work. Alright, so hopefully this story will play all the way through. If it doesn't, I'll restart it again and just record again.
Broccoli is for me. Written by illustrated by Light burn. Gumdrops make me thirsty. Cotton candy melts my hands and makes me yell for mercy. Candy don't stick to my hands. The paper gets all soggy. Some things make my throat itch and make my voice sound froggy. Licorice makes me fart. Orange peanuts make me cough. Gum pops in my face, and I have to peel it off. Chewing gum makes my jaw hurt. Wax lips look real creepy. Taffy gets stuck in my hair if I eat while I'm sleepy. Gold coins are just so messy. You can't get the chocolate out, and the foil pieces in your teeth give you shivers in your mouth. So give me pears, grapes, and apples, purple plums and dates. Hooray for bright orange berries, and make a rainbow on your plate. Celery bolts are tasty too, with peanut butter, thick and creamy, raisins, apricots, and peaches. All taste rather dreamy. Sing a song for bananas with their yellow on a bright red map. Then the seeds a mile. Let's cheer for kiwis and two cartwheels for broccoli. Yes, I think I'll stick to friendly foods that keep me strong and healthy.
Alright, so we made it through that. I'm going to do two more. We're going to do some letters and alphabets. I don't know what letter. We might start back over with the letter A.